everybody, it's Bobby of Knitter's Niche. Welcome to my bonus room. Welcome to my Knitter's Niche. Today is October 15th, 2024. It is 2 p.m., 2 in the afternoon in Northeast Alabama. I live near the town Huntsville, Alabama. Today is a sunny day. It's only going to be in the 60s Fahrenheit today, so it's cooling down. And you know, we're in the southern part of the United States, so it takes a little while for us to cool down, get that fall weather started. Well, talking about fall, we're going to talk about a few more of my fall autumn knits, some that I have already knit, and I'm going to tell you how much I love them and give a critique on them, a critique on the pattern, critique on the yarn that I used also. So let's get started, everybody. This is my autumn Alpine. If you follow me on Instagram, you will already seen it. This is knit with Purl Soho's, it's pronounced Wigeon, which rhymes with pigeon. One of my viewers from last episode left me a message, or excuse me, left me a comment, and it said it's pronounced just like you would pigeon. It's Wigeon. The color is called Yellow Curry, is the main color, and then the contrast color, the color work, is called Heirloom White. This is a DK weight, excuse me, it's not DK, it's a sport weight yarn. And the pattern does call for a sport weight yarn. Let me take it, I'm gonna stand up so y'all can take a look at it. Here we go. Isn't it adorable? Isn't it cute? And look at this nice detail here around the neck, the detailed ribbing. This here looks like a stitch, and all it is, those are purl bumps there and here. And then we come on down to the floral motif. It is a Nordic blossom inspired motif. And Caitlin Hunter is also known as Boyland Knitworks. I want to let you take a look at the cuff. With it is the same as the collar. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? Again, be sure to follow me on Instagram, and you're going to see everything I have knit before I even put it on YouTube. So that's just a little bonus for you. So glad you're all here today. Let's back up a little bit. Welcome to my new viewers, and welcome back to my returning viewers. This has been such a fun year already, 2024. However, we're already into October, halfway through October. So let's talk about the pattern a little bit here. In the back, you have the short rows, which gives it a raised back for a nice even fit. I did do decreases down the sleeve. Now the pattern, and I'll put a picture here, one side or the other. Put a picture up so you can see the picture of the actual pattern, how she did the sleeves. All of this here, there was no decreases at all. And then you did a fast decrease right before you start doing the cuff. But what I did, I went ahead and I decreased down. I knit 10 rows, decreased, knit 10 rows, decreased. I did that for 4 times. Then I knit 6 rows and decreased, 6 rows and decreased, and 6 rows and decreased, and 6 rows and decreased, I believe 5 times. And then the rest of them were 4 rows, decreased, 4 rows, decreased, till I got down to the number I needed for my cuff. The reason I did not do the sleeve like was recommended in the pattern was because this yarn, it is a sport weight, but it is a little more hefty. And so you're going to have a little bit denser fabric. Now, she suggests using the US 4 needles on the sleeves and then decrease down and change your needle to the 3, US 3 here. What I had done is I started with the 3 and then I went to the 4, and as soon as I started the color work, I went to the US 5. I went up 1 size needle and came on down. And instead of going back down to the US 4, I kept with the US 5. It gives me a little bit of a looser drapier fabric. Now the sleeves I didn't, I went with a 4. So using this yarn, I probably would have, now that it's done, I would have rather that I would have used the US 5 on the sleeve and then just decreased as needed, just to kind of make it fit. But this is just so nice. You know, right now, fall is just starting and a new season of knitting has begun. It's fall, y'all. It is fall. I'm so excited about this is what this theme is fall. So let's talk about what else I'm working on. Well, let's back up for a minute. I did a test knit, and it is the Apple Orchard Socks, and it is by Julie Jewell, and she is the brains behind the Magic Hill sock method. So anybody can knit a sock with the Magic Hill sock method. Now, the socks I have knit are right down here. Those are the test knit that I had done. Now, this does have a heel flap and gusset on it. So I'm going to show it to you. It is adorable. And this, isn't it? Here you go. Isn't it sweet? You've got your ruffle. You start out with a 2x2 rib. Then you have your ruffle here. And then you go on down to this lace pattern. Isn't that nice? And there's your heel flap and gusset all the way through there, okay? So that was a test knit for her, and it is available right now. So it is available for purchase, and I'm really excited to test knit for her. I've test knit for Judy before. Again, it was one of her Magic Hill sock patterns that I had test knit for her before. So that is another finished object, and I didn't tell all of you that, I don't think I did, that I was going to go to North Carolina. See, no, I did that last week. And on the way to North Carolina, I started cast on a pair of socks. And these are so cute. And I had talked about them last year. So let me grab my bag here and show it to you. It is called A Little Hocus Pocus Socks. And these are by This Handmade Life. And it's a free pattern. And if you look real close, I'll show you mine. On here, it's kind of hard to see, but the cable that's running down the outside of the sock, those are little pumpkins. And let me show you mine. The yarn that I am using is the Ginger Snap yarn, and they are a husband and wife team. They hand dye their yarns, and they're from Canada. They're in Canada. So I had ordered this, oh my goodness, a year ago anyway. Well, what it was a grab bag. I didn't know for sure what I was going to get, but I think it was just $30, and I got 3 big skeins like this, 2 of this, and the other skein, do I have one handy here? No. The other skein that came with it was the skein that I had knit these socks with previously. So anyway, we'll talk about those in a second. Okay, so here's the yarn, and let me show you the little cable on here. These are very cute. Again, it's a free pattern. It is a charted pattern. So let me get this pulled apart. You can take a look at it here. Can you see the little pumpkins right there? And there with the speckles. You might not be able to see it that way. There you go. You can see them. The little pumpkins, and there's like a little knot here and here. Those are so sweet. So I've been working on those. I cast those on our little trip to South Carolina. Again, those are a little Hocus Pocus socks. I would recommend knitting these. Hopefully I'm going to have them done for trick-or-treaters. Where we live in a subdivision, and we get, and I am not kidding you, it is the truth, just under 400 trick-or-treaters will come here. They come, and down here it's still warm enough. The families will be on their golf carts, and then they'll have all the kids come from different neighborhoods, and it is so much fun. We dress up our dog every year in different little costumes, and we are going to do it again this year, and the kids love to come and see her dressed up. And sometimes they'll come and forget to get their candy because they're looking at Bella Grace, our dog, our dachshund. They're looking at her and petting on her. So I'm hoping I'm going to have these done for Halloween. I should. I'll just keep right on that. You know, I've always got my hands into something. I've always got some ideas going on. So the third thing, okay, here we go. The third whip, the third project I have on my needles, and whip means work in progress, is right behind me. You know, I've been talking about this a little bit. The yarn was gifted to me from You Knit Toronto. And You Knit Toronto is a beautiful, beautiful knit shop. I have never been there. It's in Toronto, Canada. And Claudia Quintanilla, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, she is the owner and she's the designer. She designs these amazing knitted garment patterns. And what she has done now is has put out a book, and it came for me in the mail the other day. She also gifted this to me, so we're going to talk about this. It's called Claudia Quintanilla's Memory Lane, Embellished Knits to Cherish. There are 19 patterns in here, and not only are there 19 knit patterns, there are also, they show you different embellishments that you can do on each pattern. It might be embroidery. You can take a look here, like this one right here, where she's embroidered on there. So she talks about embroidering, embellishing your knits. And this is such a beautiful, gorgeous pictures in here. Several different charts in here for you to knit with. And I have already started the Tekla sweater, which I had talked about it a little bit on my last podcast. The Tekla sweater is right behind me here, and it is knit with, let me grab my yarn. It is knit with Knitting for Olive, and it's Knitting for Olive Merino and Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair, and the colors that I are using, we're holding these two together, and the color is called Camel, and this is it. So I'm actually almost done with the body, getting ready to do the hem. Again, this is knit with Knitting for Olive. Merino is on the bottom here, and then the soft silk mohair is on the top. And when you're purchasing mohair, a suggestion from me would be to make sure that it has silk in it, because the more silk you have along with your mohair, the softer the mohair is going to be against your body. So that's what I'm working on. So let's take a look at the Tekla in the book here. It is a well-written pattern, and this is I think it's the third, let me stop and think. I believe it's the third sweater that I have knit from Claudia Quintanilla's patterns that she has gifted me the yarn and gifted me the pattern, and now she's gifted me the book. So let me find the Tekla sweater, and I'm going to read in here and tell you a little bit about it. Oh, here's another. Look at this one here. Here's another one called Monarca. It's beautiful. It symbolizes her migratory story, much like the monarch butterfly that traveled from Canada to Central America and back. She moved to Canada at 20, I believe that's when she was 20, and returned to El Salvador each year, so the butterfly's journey resonates with her. The sweater encapsulates the emotion of hope and love, as well as the strength found in the migratory experience, uniting the spirit of both worlds. And look at this, she's embroidered butterflies on there, and she tells you exactly how to do that. And you'll have the chart to go by, and she tells you what stitches to use when you embroider your sweater. Look at the detail on there. Look at the raglan. Isn't it nice? Really pretty. So that's one of the many embellished ones. The one I am knitting, and does not have embellished like embroidery on it or anything, but it does have lace on the sleeves. Okay, this is the Tekla that I am knitting. If you look closely, see the excuse me, not the embroidery, but the lace on the sleeves. Again, this is held together with fingering weight wool and then soft silk mohair. Hold those two together. Picture of the color that I am knitting it in. It looks like it's fairly cropped, not terribly short, but I'll probably do mine just a little bit longer. The pattern recommends knitting from the armhole down 10 inches. So right now, it has a faux seam. Right now, I believe I'm like just a little more than 9 inches from the underarm to there. So I'm really enjoying that. And I cannot wait. You know what I also thought? When I got this book, I thought, oh, whoa, hang on, wait a minute. There are some beautiful details too. Oh, here's another one. Look at this one. This is called Maria. Look at the details on that. And honestly, the color work does not look difficult at all. She has added beading. And look at the nice, I don't know if you call that a chiffon skirt. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And this is Maria. I think the Maria has a very ethereal look to it. And here's a close-up of the sleeve. So, you know, these are details that are very doable. You could even take, okay, you could do a sweater out of here, sweater or pullover, same thing. And you could take different elements from different sweaters, like the cuffs. You could add whichever one you would like. Now, here's a beautiful cuff. This one is called Gardenia. Just look at the cuff on this. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see, is it a working buttons? Is it a working cuff that you can open up? I'm not sure. Let's take a look here at the sleeve. So here's the front. Here's the front. Isn't that beautiful? Loving the neck. It almost has a funnel neck to it that sits low. Looks like it's a folded over neck collar. The cuffs are just make the whole sweater. Just beautiful. But like I said, you could take different elements from different patterns in this book and you have them all together. You're not purchasing each pattern individually. If you purchased each pattern individually, well, there's 19 patterns, be close to $180. Okay, if they run about $9, well, let's say this, $170. Be around $170, $165, $170. So this is the book here, y'all, and it is beautiful. I can read the back of it here. Memory Lane, embellished knits to cherish, explores how we can infuse meaning into pieces we create and wear. Embellishing involves modifying a garment to make it uniquely ours, a deeply personal and creative way of reflecting our memories, people, places, and traditions in our making. This book invites you to discover the magic of Claudia Quintanilla's unique blend of tradition and artistry. It features 19 enchanting designs inspired by her childhood in El Salvador. I think it's a beautiful book. Gorgeous book, gorgeous pictures. This one's called Wings. This is the one that's on the cover. This is Wings. Wings here. A nice collar on that. How pretty. And she's got the beading here going throughout the sweater and the lace. It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And you know, we're always thinking, oh, we're starting a sweater and I want it done at a certain time. Well, think ahead. Think ahead. Narcisco, I believe. Isn't that beautiful? And this is a lighter weight cardigan, it looks like. So nice. So you have cardigans, you have pullovers, which are sweaters. There's also a collar in here that you can do to wear over your sweaters too. Let me see if I can find that one real quick. It's called Corazon. Corazon. There. Isn't that gorgeous? You could have a beautiful silk blouse. Well, here she's just got a darling little white tee with a cap sleeve. Looks like she's got a silk ribbon running through it to tie it and some beading with some lace. But you could add this to anything. You could add this. This would be so nice to wear over a mohair sweater. Y'all know how to pronounce that better than I, but look at the embellishment. And look at the different detail in the ribbing. How beautiful is that, to have a nice cream delicate sweater with a little bit of embroidery right here, or even here, maybe next to your heart. So I'm thrilled with this book. I am tickled pink that she has included me in promoting her book, Memory Lane. Oh, it's beautiful. A lot of attention she has put toward the cuffs. She might add a little bit of lace here, a little mohair lace coming out of the end of the cuff, a lot of other details that I am not seeing in a lot of patterns right now. I would say that she has forged ahead of everyone else. Yeah, this is that. And these are that's beaded color work. There's beads in there, red beads. Isn't it gorgeous? But you can go into Ravelry, and if you go into Ravelry, you can type in, why don't you type in Tekla, T-E-C-L-A, and it will come up for you, and then you can type on Claudia's name, and it'll bring up all of these patterns now, but the pattern is only available in the book, and I'm telling you, you will save so much money getting the book. When you buy books, it is so nice. You have all the patterns together. You can pick and choose, and you can, because this is the same designer, you can look at the stitch count, and you can take some of these cuffs, and I can put something different on my Tekla if I want to. I can even embroider something on the Tekla, even though that there's nothing embroidered on the one in the book. I can add and make it my own. I can add anything I want in there. So this really gives us the opportunity to take a leap into something new. Add a little more to your knits, make it your own, make it extra special, make it an heirloom piece. Absolutely, absolutely. So I could go on and on about this book. I highly recommend you going into, oh, look at this. This is another one. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, this is an all over colorwork sweater. Azul, I believe it's how you say it, A-Z-U-L. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh. And the colors she has chosen, the colors, it's just beautiful. And everything is stylized so nice. That's another thing I like about a book. When you purchase a pattern book from a well-known designer, they will have it's styled wonderfully because they probably have a stylist on the set there. Here's a close-up of the detail, the embroidery. And this is not difficult embroidery. And this is done, it looks to me like it's done with a ribbon. There are so many different there are so many different threads, so many different yarns or embroidery floss, or here again, this is ribbon that you can use. There's so many choices out there, and she does go into that. What's used in each pattern. It's a beautiful book. I love it. I've loved just reading it, sitting here and reading it. And while I'm knitting my Tekla, I'll thumb through a little bit because I'm a continental knitter, y'all, so I cannot knit and read at the same time because it's all in my left hand. And the way the yarn works around, you have to look at it. I should practice and maybe I could get that down someday. That would be wonderful, like I do more than one thing at a time. Okay, that's Memory Lane. Look for it. And also the publisher of this is Lane. I don't know if it's pronounced Lane. It's L-A-I-N-E Publishing. But this is I have quite a few books that I had bought in the past that have patterns in them, and this is my absolute favorite because you're getting more than just a pattern. You are getting ideas, you are getting inspiration, you are getting the background on each pattern, the story about her town in El Salvador that she grew up in. Okay, well, let's go on. Let's go on. I just get excited and I just get tickled. I can't wait to talk about some of these things. So I've talked about these socks, so I'll put these away, my little pumpkin socks. Again, I would recommend these, cast them on now, and you can have them ready for Halloween because I better get with it. Halloween's only 15 days away. So let me get this hung back up here. There's my bag again. I've been using that quite a bit. Oh, Okay, got that back there. And again, this is the yarn that I'm using. Oh, I didn't show you. So let me get this is going to be my toe and my heel. I talked about it a little bit last month on my last YouTube, my last episode. And this is called Signature 4-Ply West Yorkshire Spinners. And I had ordered this from Wool Warehouse, and this is that's in Great Britain. And really the shipping was not bad at all. I want to say it was only $6-something American dollars, so that wasn't bad at all. And this color is called Spruce, I believe. Yes, Spruce. Again, this is the... And I think there are some American yarn shops that do carry this, a few, not too many, but there's a few. Again, these are the two I'm using for my sock. Okay, let's put those back in there, keep them all together. Okay, so we've gone over what I'm wearing, the Autumn Alpine. I really like it a lot. Autumn Alpine, we've talked about the Tekla pullover, which is right here. I have one future knit on my mind, and you know what, y'all, we're gonna do it. We are gonna do it. So it is called, I hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm looking down at my notes here. It is called I'll put my notes here. It is called, I have to look at my bifocals. Do y'all have to do that? It is called Callias, I bet it's Callias, like calla lily maybe, I don't know. It's by Isabel Kramer. Isabel Kramer is an extraordinary, you know what, I don't know how many of her patterns, and I still haven't knit one. This is a cardigan. I'm going to put a picture up here so you can take a look at it. It is done with the Aran weight yarn, which would be worsted. We call it worsted here in the United States. I believe they're pretty close, if not the same thing. In the yarn that I'm going to use is undecided. I would like to use Lion Brand's Fisherman Wool. Let me see if I have some right here. I don't. I would like to use that yarn because it's very economical. This is a cardigan that I'm going to be wearing quite a bit. It's a cardigan that is going to be washed. It's going to be, I'm probably going to have to wash it by hand. It's 100% wool, but it still has the lanolin oils in it. And once you wash that out, it turns into a soft yarn. It is extremely economical. You get, I want to say 400 and some yards in a skein. At the most I have ever seen it is $13.99, 13 American dollars and 99 cents. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that. And I have the color oatmeal. I'll put a picture up here, either side here, about that. And I'm looking forward to knitting a cardigan. And like I said, I have never knit any of her patterns, and I have I have a handful of them. I have at least 5 of her patterns that I have not knit yet. And I know y'all are just, you know, why not, Bobby? Why haven't you knit any? I don't know. Because I get distracted and knit something else, and my time is somewhat limited. You know, I'm retired, so I have the luxury of being able to knit basically whenever I want. So, but I would knit all day if I could. And some days I knit quite a bit some days, and other days I'm busy. Other obligations. Okay, that's a future knit that I would like to knit. And let me know what you're thinking about knitting. Let me know about if there's a cardigan that you would like to knit. Give me some ideas. You know, I'd like to have some ideas on maybe some fairly new cardigans that are out there. I do know that there's a new one. Kramer has a newer one out than the one I am knitting. It's a little bit similar. It has a different stitch pattern throughout than the one that I'm going to knit. Mine looks a little bit more basic, but the details in it are just, they're Isabel. It's Isabel's style. It's Isabel's signature. She always puts this nice detail. A lot like, I will tell you what, I would say her knits are a lot like, from what I can see, I have knit petite knit patterns. Love them for the detail, love them for just a little bit of simplicity to them, but yet they're very polished and very professional looking. And I'm seeing that in Isabel Kramer's patterns also, just by looking at pictures. So now I'll know, I'll knit one, now I'll know for sure. A couple of fall knits that I have knit, they're accessories that I have knit in the past, and I've talked about them in the past, and I would like to talk about them again today, just to refresh everyone's memory, and also for my new viewers who have not seen these yet. I did reach back earlier. These are a pair of socks that I have knit. These are called September wood socks, and as I mentioned earlier, I had used this yarn, had ordered this yarn along with the orange. Oh, and that orange yarn that I'm knitting the socks with, the name's called Weasel. Isn't that funny? It's called Weasel. Okay, so these I've talked about probably about a year ago, are September wood socks, and these are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. Look at the leaves there. And then you'll have the twisted rib going right through here. How clever is that? I just think it's so deep, such good, really nice detail. And I believe this is 1, 2, 3, knit 3, purl 1 on the instep, and then you have your toe decreases here, heel flap and gusset. Aren't they beautiful? I have 2 of them here, of course. They're so pretty. I would love to recommend these, and I do recommend them. They're my favorite socks. They're my most favorite socks I have ever knit. But you know what? Those little socks I'm working on right now, there they go, September woods. So here's the September wood socks. Let me drop that pin. The September woods. And she had got a little quote down here on the bottom of the pattern. And she says, actually it's a little poem. A glory of gold and russet and gray, the treetops old glow in the day, and one by one the dry leaves fall, the autumn sun smiles on them all. It says author unknown. It's right here on the bottom of the pattern. Isn't that nice? I think that's lovely. I love all these short, you know, I like short little poems. Just like short little ones that talk about the season, different seasons. I really enjoy reading those. Okay, again. Now this is a paid for pattern. I want to say it was $3 when I purchased it. Now I think it's $3.50 American dollars. And then this one is free. So I would recommend going ahead and downloading this one and try one of her patterns, because it'll be my second pattern. I was going to say Future Knit. Now I'm jumping around a little bit with Future Knits, Whips. This is Woodland Walk, and this is for a paid for pattern, and this is also by This Handmade Life. Now I don't know if this is charted and written out. I would go in and look at the description and see there is a chart here. And this is a paid for pattern, but this will be, here's the difference between the two. This one is on the leg, all the lace is on the leg, and this one is down the outer part of the sock. So I would recommend that one too. Again, this is going to be a future knit for me. Whether I'll get it done yet this year, I might not, because I've got my hands, and there's so much behind the scenes stuff going on with Knitter's Niche, and I'll have to tell you about that someday. It's coming, everybody, and I appreciate everybody viewing and helping me out on my YouTube channel. Okay, and here's one more future knit. Has anybody heard of Summer Lee? Of course, everybody's heard of Summer Lee. She has got these free patterns out, and this one is for her little Christmas socks. Aren't those adorable? Tiny tree socks. You can put them on your tree. You can put them on a package, a present, on the outside of the box with a bow. Wouldn't that be adorable? You could have at each place setting, as you have Christmas, you can give it so everybody gets a little, and put a little treat inside so everybody gets a little stocking. Wouldn't that be lovely? So I do want to knit some of these. I have so many small amounts, like 10 gram and 5 gram, really nice yarns that I would love to use up and really turn into something beautiful. And you could do a garland. I could do a garland and hang it back here too. Wouldn't that be adorable? Okay, so let's back up, and we're going to talk about a cowl that I had done. And there again, this is a leaf motif, and it is right here behind me. It is called, let me see. Oh, actually, this was a test knit that I had done, and I had done this a couple years ago, and it is called the Autumn Poplars Cowl. It is beautiful. I used Knit Picks wool of the Andes. I believe it's the DK weight that I had used. And it's beautiful. It is, the pattern itself has two different sizes. This size, which is more narrow, or it has one that's wider. So it will kind of drape down as you wear it. This is beautiful, beautiful. Now here's the thing about Knit Picks wool of the Andes yarn and me, I can't wear it. I cannot wear it. I've done everything I can to soften this up and to make it so where I can, and it didn't bother me when I was knitting with it. So there are certain alpacas that bother me. I'm fine with other alpaca. I don't know what it is. So again, this is the Autumn Poplars Cowl. I would recommend this, highly recommend this. It was a quick knit. It is charted. So of course you're going to have the words telling you, here, but when you get into the lace, it's all charted. So it's beautiful. Love that so much. I'll put down here, oh, the color. Let me tell you what, if you have no problem with Knit Picks wool of the Andes, the color is called Persimmon. Persimmon, yeah, isn't that beautiful? This one's going to be a little bit more short and sweet. I really wanted to talk about a little more the fall patterns that I love, and this is my favorite one now. I have it just with a pair of jeans here. You can see it on Instagram. I'm wearing the same pair of jeans with it, and I'm posing with it. I'll put a little bit of footage in right here so you all can take a look. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you so much. I'm looking forward to the weather getting cooler, and I hope y'all are too, and I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Y'all are so sweet and kind and good, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Leave a comment down below, and I would be happy. If you have a question, it won't come up as a comment, it'll come up as a question, so I'll know to answer that right away. And thanks again. Hoping everybody's doing fine. Let's get out there and remember, knit the day. And I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Today is Tuesday. I can't believe it. Halfway through October. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.